You know, there's something about getting older that makes us appreciate the little things in life. A warm cup of tea, a good book, or a leisurely walk in the park. But if there's one thing that can really put a damper on enjoying those moments, it's knee pain. If you're over 70 and your knees have been giving you trouble, you're not alone. So many of us feel that stiffness, that ache, that little voice in the back of our mind saying, maybe I should just sit this one out. But here's the thing, you don't have to let knee pain slow you down. In fact, staying active is one of the best things you can do to keep your knees healthy and strong. And the good news? You don't need to run a marathon or lift heavy weights to make a difference. Simple, gentle exercises done regularly can work wonders. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. I'll share with you 6 easy exercises designed to help reduce knee pain, improve flexibility, and keep you moving with confidence. These aren't complicated routines, just practical movements you can do at home, maybe even while watching your favorite show. Now, before we jump into the exercises, let's take a quick moment to talk about why movement is so important. See, our joints thrive on motion. When we stay active, we keep the muscles around our knees strong, which helps take pressure off the joints themselves. It also keeps the blood flowing, which means better lubrication for those knees. Think of it like oiling a squeaky hinge. It just works better when it's moving smoothly. So, are you ready to give your knees some love? Let's start with the first exercise. Seated leg lifts. This one is perfect if you're dealing with a lot of stiffness, or if standing for long periods is tough. Sit comfortably in a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor. Now, slowly straighten one leg out in front of you, lifting it as high as you comfortably can. Hold it for a few seconds, then gently lower it back down. That's 1 rep. Try to do about 10 on each leg. You'll feel this in your thigh muscles, and that's a good thing. It means you're strengthening the very muscles that support your knees. Now, let's move on to the second exercise. Heel slides. For this one, you can stay seated in that same chair, or even do it lying down on your bed if that's more comfortable. Start with your feet flat on the floor, then slowly slide 1 foot forward, straightening your leg as much as you can without pain. Then slide it back to the starting position. It's a small movement, but it helps improve flexibility and range of motion in your knee. Aim for 10 slides on each side, moving slowly and with control. You might be thinking that's it. And yes, these exercises are simple, but that's the beauty of them. They're gentle yet effective, and the more you do them, the better your knees will feel over time. Now, let's talk about the third exercise. Standing leg raises. If you're steady on your feet, hold onto the back of a chair or a countertop for balance. Slowly lift one leg straight out to the side, keeping your toes pointed forward. Don't worry about lifting it high, just a few inches is plenty. Hold for a moment, then lower it back down. This one works the muscles on the sides of your hips, which play a big role in keeping your knees stable. Try for 8 to 10 raises on each leg. And there you have it, 3 simple exercises to get you started. The key is consistency. Even just a few minutes a day can make a real difference in how your knees feel. Now, I know what you might be thinking. What about the other 3 exercises? Well, we'll get to those in just a bit. But for now, try these first 3, take it slow, and most importantly, listen to your body. If something doesn't feel right, ease up or skip it. This is about helping you feel better, not pushing through pain. So go ahead, give these a try today, and when you're ready, we'll move on to the next set of exercises that'll help keep you active and enjoying life to the fullest. After all, age is just a number. It's how you feel that really counts. You know, sometimes the hardest part about starting something new is just taking that first step, or in this case, that first gentle stretch. But if you've been trying those first 3 exercises we talked about, give yourself a pat on the back. You're already doing something wonderful for your knees, and that's something to be proud of. Now, let's build on that momentum with the next 2 exercises. These are just as easy, but they'll help you strengthen different muscles around your knees, giving you even more support and stability. First up is the Yoi seated march. This one is exactly what it sounds like, marching, but while sitting down. Find a sturdy chair and sit tall with your feet flat on the floor. Now slowly lift one knee a few inches like you're marching in place, then lower it back down. Alternate legs, lifting and lowering in a steady rhythm. Try to do about 10 marches on each side. What's great about this exercise is that it gets your knees moving in a natural way while also engaging your hip flexors, those muscles that help you lift your legs when you walk or climb stairs. And because you're seated, there's no strain on your joints. You can even do this while watching TV or chatting on the phone. Now let's move on to the standing calf raise. If you're comfortable standing, hold onto the back of a chair or a countertop for balance. Stand with your feet hip-width apart, then slowly lift your heels off the ground, rising up onto your toes. Hold for a second, then gently lower back down. Try to do 8 to 10 of these. This exercise might seem simple, but it's doing some important work. It strengthens your calf muscles, which play a big role in supporting your knees and helping you stay steady on your feet. Plus, it's great for your balance, something we all want to keep sharp as we get older. Now, I want to take a quick moment to remind you, there's no rush. If you need to take breaks between exercises, that's perfectly fine. If you can only do a few reps at first, that's still progress. The goal isn't to push yourself to the point of pain, it's to move in a way that feels good and helps your knees over time. And speaking of feeling good, let's talk about the 6th and final exercise, straight leg raises, lying down. This one is especially helpful if you've been dealing with stiffness or weakness in your knees. Lie down on your back on a comfortable surface. Your bed or a yoga mat on the floor works great. Bend one knee, keeping your foot flat, and straighten the other leg. Slowly lift the straight leg about a foot off the ground, hold for a few seconds, then lower it back down. Aim for 8 to 10 lifts on each leg. This exercise targets your quadriceps, the big muscles on the front of your thighs, which are like natural shock absorbers for your knees. When these muscles are strong, they take some of the pressure off your joints, making everyday movements easier and more comfortable. Now, before we wrap up this part, I want to remind you that these exercises aren't a quick fix. They're a long-term investment in your mobility. The more consistently you do them, the better your knees will feel. And if you ever have any doubts or concerns, it's always a good idea to check in with your doctor or a physical therapist. So try adding these next 3 exercises into your routine, and when you're ready, we'll go over some final tips to help you stay active and pain-free. Remember, every little movement counts, and you're doing something truly important, taking care of yourself so you can keep doing the things you love. You know, there's a saying I love. We don't stop moving because we grow old. We grow old because we stop moving. And if you've been following along with these exercises, you're proving just how true that is. Every time you do one of these gentle movements, you're telling your knees, I've got you, and we've got more adventures ahead. Now, I promised you 6 exercises, and we've covered 5 so far. The 6th one is special because it brings everything together: strength, flexibility, and most importantly, confidence in your movement. But before we get to that, let's take a quick moment to appreciate how far you've already come. Those seated leg lifts you started with, they're building strength. The heel slides, they're improving your range of motion. Every time you do those standing leg raises or seated marches, you're reinforcing the muscles that keep you stable. That's not just exercise, that's you taking back control of how you move through your day. Now, for our final exercise, the Taos chair stand. This one mimics the motion of standing up from a chair, which is something we do countless times every day. Start by sitting toward the front of a sturdy chair with your feet flat and slightly apart. Lean forward slightly and push through your heels to stand up, using your hands for support if needed. Then, slowly lower yourself back down. Try for 5 to 8 repetitions. What makes this exercise so valuable is that it strengthens all the muscles you use for standing and sitting, your thighs, your hips, even your core. And the stronger these muscles are, the less strain on your knees during daily activities. If this feels challenging at first, that's completely normal. You can place a cushion on the chair to make the movement shallower or use armrests for extra support. Now, let's talk about making these exercises work for you in real life. You might be wondering, how often should I do these? Aim for about 10-15 minutes most days. You can spread them out, maybe do a few in the morning and a few in the evening. The key is consistency, not intensity. Even on days when your knees feel stiff, gentle movement often helps more than staying still. And here's something important. Listen to your body. A little muscle fatigue is normal, but sharp pain isn't. If an exercise doesn't feel right today, skip it and try again tomorrow. This isn't about pushing through pain, it's about gradual progress. One more tip. Pair these exercises with something you enjoy. Do them during commercial breaks of your favorite show, or put on some music from your younger years. Before you know it, they'll become part of your daily rhythm. As we wrap up, I want you to picture something. Imagine yourself 6 months from now, moving more easily, bending down to tend to your garden, or walking through the park without that constant ache. That future is absolutely possible, and it starts with the small steps you're taking today. Every great journey begins with a single step, or in this case, a single stretch. You've got everything you need right now to start feeling better. These 6 exercises are your tools, but your determination is the real magic ingredient. I'd love to hear how these exercises are working for you. Drop a comment below and let me know which one felt the best. Did you notice any difference after a few days? Your experiences might inspire someone else who's just starting out. If you found this helpful, give the video a thumbs up. It helps others find this information too. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing. We've got plenty more tips coming to help you stay active, independent, and enjoying life to the fullest. Remember, age is just a number, but how you feel is everything. Here's to strong knees, happy movements, and all the little joys that keep life wonderful. Now go show those knees some love. You've got this.